Well, gang, I've got my one person hot tent, TP hot tent, the fire hiking. It's a smaller one. It only stands about 5'2" or something like that, or stands pretty low. One person, not a lot of room. So I wanted to get, and don't get me wrong, I love that little tent. I use it quite a bit now, but I want to get something a little bit bigger where I could fit 2 people in. And I wanted to get the fire hiking brand, but I bought the fire hiking last time because it was the cheapest thing on Amazon at the time. But now this brand here, I don't think it's M. Maketo, is the cheapest hot tent as far as like a bigger one. This one's supposed to stand like 7'2". It's about 3 foot wider in diameter, so it's gonna definitely hold, have more room on the inside. So let's tear into this thing and see what it has with it, and see what I might need to get. Oops, I didn't get it all. I didn't get it all, guys. I definitely don't want to cut into the tent at all. There we go. All right, let's break this thing open, see if it's got poles, stakes, whatever. So there it is. I don't know if you can read that or not. The writing isn't the best, but there we go. Maketo. Currently, at least when I purchased this from Amazon, it was the cheapest 4-person hot tent that I could find. All right, let's open this thing up, see what we got. All right, guys, so we're gonna check out this cheap hot tent. I'm not gonna obviously set it up. I just want to open it up to see what's inside this bag, because I don't know if it's got a pole, I don't know if it's got stakes, I don't know what it's got. I'm hoping it's got poles and stakes. Okay, so they come inside the bag. Okay, the tent opens up. All right, so there's your stove jack. I'll have to cut a hole for that, not a big deal. This must be, yep, that is the center pole. It's actually a pretty good sized pole here, diameter wise. Oh yeah, yeah, that thing is long. So that's gonna definitely be taller than my fire hiking 1-person hot tent. So that's kind of exciting. We actually know it's gonna be bigger. You know, when you buy something off Amazon, you never know. And then when you're buying the cheapest product that you can get, then you really don't know what you're getting. So that's kind of exciting. Pretty decent sized pole. This is definitely not lightweight, which is fine because most of the time I'm going out on the snowmobile. So there we go with that. And then it's going to come with some. We come with some tent stakes and some lines. Oh, them stakes aren't too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, no, I gotta start over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 stakes. They're so like maybe aluminum. They're not real light, not real heavy. but they are definitely longer than I anticipated them to be. The ones I got with the fire hiking were a bit shorter than that. Then we got some guy lines. Yeah. So it looks like we got some figurines to do on this thing for sure. So anyways guys, that's what we got for our, I don't know how you say the word again, our Makedo hot tent. Alright guys, so got to take a little bit more of a look at this, what do you want to call it? Makedo hot tent. And yeah, I was actually kind of hoping, I gotta get back to work. There we go. I always got that one Wiley hair order, you guys. So anyways, I was hoping to get out and do some hot tenting today. So I knew the tent was coming in. Got here a little bit later than I thought. And as I said before, this was, I can't remember what I even paid for it. It was cheap, maybe just over $100. But it's a, you know, like a actual, you could fit 2 or 3 people in it with a stove. So it's a way bigger tent than my fire hiking. But the fire hiking, when I got that, I was literally able to unbox it, head out, and set it up. So this thing here, not so much. It was, this tent was missing a bunch of guidelines, and none of the guidelines were on it. Where the fire hiking came, it was ready to go. So so I was like, all right, well, we'll go ahead and start going through and attaching guidelines. And it has, I kind of like the idea. There's 2 tie-out points along the seam, one higher, one lower, and then you have the peg on the bottom. So that'll help create a lot of room and give a lot of support on the walls. So I kind of like that. But that means you need 18, is that 18? No, 8 per round. So 8 and 8 is 16 guidelines. And I think they only sent 5. So I ordered up what I wanted. Nothing fancy, actually cheap stuff, you know how I am. But the other thing is, on the fire hiking hot tent, it had, for the peg on the ground, when you put the peg in, the strap would come around the peg, right? And you could adjust this strap. Well, down on this tent, it's just a little rope loop. So they did send these little hooks and these strings, and the string was just straight. It was not like it is now. I had to redo this knot so it'd be a better knot, and then I needed to make a knot here so that I could adjust, you know, have some adjustment. So I figured this would go on the rope, this is going to go around the stake, and then if I needed to tighten things up, you just pull this up, and there you go. So that's what I had to do there. So there's 8 of them, so I had to take each one of them, tie the knot up here, and tie, I forget what they call that knot. I'm not a knot expert by any stretch of imagination. I actually had to watch a video to figure out what to do. But we got that done. So then, like I said, we went around on the tent. All right, guys. So this is what they sent. They sent this rope here, and they only sent like 5 of them, right? So again, it was just a straight rope, so I had to make the loop back here, and that's I did a knot that's adjustable, so that way once it's tied to a stake, you can tighten things up, right? And so you got here, you can see you got up high for a tie-out point, then you have one down a little bit lower as well. You can see that. So that's all one. And then the bottom of the tent is, like I said, they just have a little rope here. That's why we took those other clips and rope to set that up. So, but this thing is huge. Now, one of the things I do like about this tent, it does have 2 doors on it, one either side. It's got 2 vents up top. I don't know if you can see that vent up over here. And this is just huge. So I'm looking forward to actually getting out and using it. You know, I'm not sure what it's going to be. Like I said, I ordered up a bunch more guidelines so I can get everything I need to get this thing fully tied off. I think it's going to be a nice tent. I did look at the seams on the inside. They are seam taped, which I was a little concerned. And I mean, it's not perfect. It's a cheap tent. There's some stitching right there. You know, could that be a problem at some point? Could very well be. But anyways, so yeah, there you have it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to using this tent. Looking forward to seeing how she does in the woods. Looking forward to seeing how well it performs as far as keeping moisture out. I'm not anticipating doing a lot of, you know, rain, but even my fair hiking, I figured I'd only be out in the snow, and I've been out in that a couple times where rain has turned to snow or snow has turned to rain. So you just never know what you're going to run into out in the woods, and that's why it's nice if they're actually waterproof. So we'll see how this thing actually performs when we get out there. Anyways, one of my concerns with this tent is, so there's our zipper underneath here. That's got to be, I don't know, that flap right there is probably only maybe an inch. It's not a very big flap. So I'm kind of concerned that that might allow moisture to seep in. But I don't know, you know, rain. But I don't think I'll be in this tent ever in a big downpour, because this is gonna be a hot tent. I'm planning on being out in the winter when it's snowing. I'm not planning on downpour, but you never know what can happen when you're out, right? So up here, the vents. This is, oops. So it's a vent. It's got a little bracket here, little brace to help hold that open. I feel like, I mean, it's a pretty good size vent, and there's 2 of them, so I kind of like that. Right here, oh, here's the difference between the hot tent I have currently and this one is the smaller fire hiking hot tent. This is where the stove jack goes. This here, the panel comes completely off. On the fire hiking, it rolls up and there's a spot here to hold it up there, right? And I kind of like that because you can have the stove jack on there and have the flap on, both of them at the same time, where this tent, it's one or the other. So yeah, that's a quick overview, I guess, of this tent and a closer look. We'll just have to see how she performs. I think it's gonna do fine. Like I said, I'm gonna need a bigger stove. That's about it, but I'm excited about having all the room. I'm excited that I'll be able to actually like have the stove in there, be able to have my chair in there, be able to sit down inside there. I don't necessarily have to be outside by a fire or inside and just sitting really low because the tent is so it doesn't sit very high. So I'm actually really excited about that. So anyways, all right guys, we'll talk to you later.